Hello, I'm Josh Jenkins, and I'm the founder of LexBar. Recently, the Virginia Board of Bar Examiners started allowing out-of-state attorneys to transfer to Virginia under some circumstances by only taking the Virginia essay exam. Now, since that happened, I've had an enormous number of students with a lot of questions trying to transfer their license into the state without taking the MBE and only focusing on the Virginia essay exam. So I've created this video to answer the extremely common questions that I get about this process. The questions that I'll answer in the video include: what study materials do I need for the Virginia essay exam and where do I get them? Will my UBE or other study program help me prepare for the Virginia exam? And is the Virginia exam kind of like the UBE or the multi-state essay exam? Let's take the first one of those questions first. What study materials will you need for the Virginia essay exam? As I mentioned, LexBar existed long before people could do this, could take only the essay exam. This is relatively new. And LexBar itself was never designed to be a full and complete course in Virginia law. Rather, it's designed to supplement another course that has a full outline of Virginia law. And this is because to succeed on the Virginia exam, you really need to do two things. First, you need to memorize Virginia-specific legal rules that are tested on the exam. And that includes some 20 some odd subjects, depending exactly how you break them down. And you need to then learn how to write an essay answer the way that Virginia examiners expect the answer to be written, which is different from the multi-state or the UBE exam that is given in almost every other state now. So you do need more than just LexBar in order to pass the Virginia essay exam. Students do this in a couple of ways. The most common way is to purchase a full state-specific Virginia course from Barbary, Kaplan, or Themis. Those courses will give you a bunch of MBE material that you really don't need, but what they also give you is a full outline of Virginia law. And so a lot of students go ahead and pay for the full Themis course. Themis is generally the cheapest of the three, and then use all the Virginia state-specific outlines and resources that come with the course and sort of ignore a lot of the MBE study. That is probably the best strategy, and it's one that I recommend that you do. They will add on then LexBar to help understand the differences between most essay exams and the Virginia exam, and also to learn some of the most important highly tested rules and to prioritize their studying based on what is most heavily weighted, what topics are most heavily weighted on our exam. So the study materials you need do consist of a full outline of Virginia law, plus LexBar will get you there. But LexBar itself does not contain a full outline of Virginia law. You have to find that elsewhere. So some students have had some success finding full outlines of Virginia law online. Usually they're used, a couple of years old, but people will post online and sell them used. You can do that too. If it's an outline created in the last couple of years, you should be fine. And then finally, one way that people do it is entirely by self-study. Now, this is definitely the most challenging way to go, because the Virginia exam does test very unique features of Virginia law, and national standards and model codes won't get you very far on our exam. So you could try to do it alone, or you could buy one of the big programs, or you could buy a used book. But somehow you need to get a source, a full source of Virginia state-specific law to memorize from. After that, the LexBar course will help you learn how to write an essay answer for Virginia, which is different, and I'll touch on that more in a moment. Lots of students also ask whether a program from Barbary, for example, or Themis or Kaplan, that's made for the UBE, will that help on the Virginia essay exam? The answer to that question is no, it won't. The Virginia essay exam has almost no overlap with the MBE or the UBE or the multi-state essay exam. Those exams test national standards and model codes. The Virginia exam tests Virginia-specific law and often Virginia distinctions. So when they test a distinction, they're testing something that is different under Virginia law than it would be in a model code or a national standard. Another way of thinking about that is a question that you got right on the MBE, you could also get wrong with that same answer on the Virginia exam. There is not a lot of overlap between the Virginia essay exam and the UBE or the MEE. Now, we do test a Federal Civil Procedure and Uniform Commercial Code on the Virginia essay exam, and those two subjects do have some overlap, but the vast majority of the Virginia essay exam has really nothing in common with your MBE and UBE study materials. So a program for the UBE will not help you on the Virginia essay exam. And then finally, a lot of students assume that the Virginia essay exam must be just like all these other essay exams, and that the general essay writing advice they've always heard will work for the Virginia exam. It's not true. The Virginia exam does not use issue spotting. They literally give you the issue to discuss. You don't use every fact from the fact pattern, and actually you can actually get points deducted for using facts that end up being irrelevant to the rule. You never argue both sides. You may have been accustomed to advice where you're supposed to write the plaintiff will argue, the defendant will argue, and sort of argue both sides of an essay question. We don't do that here. Our essay questions have a specific and right outcome that you must reach, and you must use the correct legal rule to get there. We require precise answers, and precise phrasing of conclusions will help you stay within the scope of your answer. So LexBar teaches students how to write a Virginia essay exam the way the Virginia graders expect to see your answer. Our exam is not graded nationally as the MEE is graded or the UBE is graded. Our exam is graded by Virginia lawyers right here in Virginia. So the way that they expect your answer is different from some of the model advice that you'll find in the major bar prep programs that are focused on other states. Admittedly, most states give the UBE, so most of the essay writing advice that you'll find out there is for the UBE. But the Virginia exam just tests differently. And in our 20 topics, you have to know where to spend your time. And whether you count it as 20 topics or 25 topics, sort of depending on how you group or categorize them, some of them are worth significantly more points than ever. So LexBar helps there by strategizing your essay time, by helping you do practice essays, and it includes practice essay grading, where me or a member of my team will carefully grade your essays the way a Virginia examiner grades essays and provide substantive, valuable feedback to you on those essays. Also with LexBar, we're available by email throughout the course so that if you have questions about Virginia substantive law or about how to write an essay answer, you can always reach out to us. So LexBar will help transferring attorneys to pass the Virginia essay exam. But alone, it's not enough. You do need a full outline of Virginia law, which, as I've said, you could purchase used, or you could go to one of the big three providers, Barbary, Kaplan, or Themis, and purchase a full course specific to Virginia. Or you could try the self-study method, and some students have done okay with that, but it does require a lot of motivation and a lot of time on your part to be able to assemble all the sources you need to study all 20 subject areas for the Virginia essay exam. A word of warning before I let you go, and I don't want to discourage you, but the Virginia essay exam is the same exam that's given to all the students that are taking it each year or twice each year. So it's not a special attorney's exam that's written just for folks who are transferring in. Rather, it's the same bar exam that's given to everyone here in our state. And so it's not especially easy. In fact, it's quite challenging, and it requires a lot of time to learn and memorize the law. I don't want you to underestimate it, but I do want you to know that in the course of our existence, LexBar has a pass rate of over 94% for those students who complete the LexBar program. The Virginia essay exam is a tough exam, but you can do it. And hopefully LexBar can be part of that picture for you. Feel free to drop me a line if you have any questions or concerns, and good luck on your journey towards the Virginia bar exam.